Good morning. It's July 28th, right? 29th. July 29th. And it's Friday, so that means it's going around the lake day. Wascana Lake. It's very pleasant and cool right now, although it's going to 29, so it's going to be a warm day. But at the moment, it's about, 14 or something like that, so quite cool. It's starting to look a bit more morning-y as the days get a little shorter again, so the sun is lower. I mean, it's only July, but it's almost August, and then the next thing you know, it's September, and the next thing you know, it's autumn. Just hold on for 1 second. I'm just going to give the lenses a bit of a rub. They look like they might be smudged a little. I don't know if that helped or not. Nope. Water and gravel there for some reason. Good morning, whoever just said hello. Brandon. Hello. Actually, it's cool at the moment, but it is going to be warm later, going to 29 Celsius. But it's cooling off. It cools off at night, so high of 29, low of 12 is a considerable difference in temperature. Hi, Ben. I'm doing well. How are you? It's the usual path down the alley, down Angus Boulevard, under the bridge, and around the lake. The only question is, which direction do I walk? I think I'll walk counterclockwise because, again, that's the best view of the gardens in front of the legislative building. So, hi, Kirk in Vancouver. My goodness, people popping up all over the place this morning. I didn't walk yesterday. Well, I did, but I didn't live stream. They were just short, disconnected walks, and I had a filling in the morning fixed, so my lip was frozen. Actually, my tongue wasn't. I managed to put the freezing in a place where it didn't affect my tongue, which was nice. So I probably could have walked and talked, but I didn't really feel like it after that. Start the day with a dentist appointment, and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day, I like to say. Nice little garden at the end of the boulevard there. Here comes somebody with a dog. There's always somebody with a dog. Bright sun, cloudless sky at the moment. There's a football game tonight. Hope it stays cloudless. Been like 3 of them this month, which is unusual to have 3 home games in a month. Harrington Mews, where Wally Knight lives in my Shards of Excalibur fantasy series. There's the Albert Street Bridge. So they finally fix that hole there. Is there a puddle here today? Not too much of one. It's unusual to have all that traffic under the bridge. Oh, we've got Saskatchewan flags up now. Well, Monday is Saskatchewan Day. It's a civic holiday, but they call it Saskatchewan Day here in Saskatchewan. Funny that. So we got Saskatchewan flags flying on the bridge now. It was Canadian flags for Canada Day, which was July 1st. And here's the lake. There's actually a boat out there in the middle of it. And more dogs. I'll have to check and see what the pelicans are doing, if they're just visible under the bridge here. Lots of people out this morning. Down there today. Oh yeah, there's a few of them. If you look under the bridge, you can see the pelicans. They like to hang out right there where the water comes over the spillway to catch fish that get swept off out of the lake. Legislative building ahead of us. There are often geese over here, but not today. Sunshine on the water looks so lovely. Little John Denver. Sunshine in my eyes can't make me cry. Sunshine on my shoulders feel so lovely. Sunshine always makes me high. I think I got those out of order. I think it's Sunshine on my shoulders is the first line. It's funny, I don't know what I was singing when I walked to the university 2 days ago, but a minute and something of audio was silenced on my Facebook feed, the recording of it anyway, in some 72 countries because of some copyright claim. It had to have been something I was singing. I don't know what it was. I should be honored that at least they recognized it. Geese, geese, geese. More geese. Some sleeping, some feeding, some preening, some swimming. That's about the entire list of possible geese behavior. And lone goose down here. No, there's more there. I couldn't see them among the rocks. They look like rocks. And here's the gardens. In front of the legislative building. Statue of Walter Scott, the first premier, who was responsible for the building of the legislative building, which is why if you look at the statue you see that he's holding a blueprint. If you get it just right, you get the dome just inside the blueprint there. Ta-da! Flowers are pretty much at their peak. They're lovely. You can smell them. Oops, managed to step in the only puddle for meters around. And of course there's the Queen statue aboard Burmese, the Saskatchewan-born horse. That was one of her favorites. That she used to ride in Trooping of the Colours for more than a decade. She rode Burmese. And she came and unveiled this in person in 2005. I was standing right over there with my daughter, who gave her flowers. It was raining, I remember that. And there's the legislative building. With ugly concrete things in front of it. I don't know. I don't really think that it's likely to be needed here, but I guess you never know. This driveway right in front of it has always been open, but it's all blocked off and has been now for a while. Looks ugly. I don't approve. I'll go down this way as I usually do. Take a good look at the dome, which was recently refurbished. So for a while, 2 or 3 years ago, it was actually a shiny copper dome. It didn't take long to go black, which is what copper does here. Some places it goes green, but here it goes black. I don't know what the difference is in the atmospheric conditions or climate, but that seems to determine which way the color goes when the copper oxidizes. Who's our premier? Scott Moe, Saskatchewan party. Has been for quite a while. Took over from Brad Wall, also Saskatchewan party. NDP are the opposition. They haven't been in power now for a very long time. Looking straight ahead is the Trafalgar Fountain. Which actually stood in Trafalgar Square at one point in London. Tennis courts are just off to our right behind these trees. I've walked by them sometimes. Mountain looks particularly pretty this morning with the sunshine. See the dolphins down here spouting water. Dolphins as in the fish, not the porpoises. Yes, there was a King Edward. And of course there's a Prince Edward now. There's more than one Edward. The last one was what? Edward the 7th? The guy that, or the 6th, the guy that quit, abdicated. See another fountain over there. That's an aeration fountain. We'll go by it shortly. Keeps water in the lake for the fishies. Roberts Plaza over there is an apartment building. And the other tall building poking up is the Center of the Arts, our major theatrical space, which I walked by 2 days ago when I walked to the university from downtown. This weekend maybe I'll get a little further afield again because I'll have a car. I have a car today actually, but Friday is always lake day, so I can hear the plop of tennis balls just over there. Next is the Holodomor Memorial to the genocide of Ukrainians by Russia at the hands of Stalin in forced famine. Saskatchewan was the first political entity to recognize that as a genocide. And there's a lot of Ukrainian immigrants here in Saskatchewan, including some new ones, refugees who've just come in from Ukraine not too long ago. Trees over there is Spruce Island. We'll get a better look at it further along. There's always more people walking around the lake in nice weather, and especially on days that are going to be warm. Everybody tends to come out in the morning if they're planning to walk. Another aeration thing here, little outflow pipe and a pump station here that makes it happen. And a pier down there, but it's not really for the public. There's the little pipe. You can see it has carved animals on it. That's Spruce Island. Oh, and there's the kayak just off the end of it there. Very bright, hard to see. Carry on my wayward son. That always comes to mind whenever I'm about to say, "We'll carry on." Should have put on my sunglasses, but forgot. Makes it harder to see the screen, but easier on my eyes, especially on windy, dusty days. It's not windy today or dusty, so not so bad. Just over there is the totem pole. I won't go look at it today, but given to mark the centennial of British Columbia entering Confederation a few years ago now. And then repainted by the son of the original artist, refurbished more recently than that. Dogs and joggers, the two things you can be sure of seeing on these walks. Dogs everywhere, joggers usually along the paths, less often just in a residential area, or certainly downtown or somewhere like that. Comes the old guys.
My old COVID and stuff like that. Morning.
Morning. I call them the old guys, probably my age, some of them. But this is what they do. They get together and they walk around the lake and talk. I would imagine we'll cross paths with them again at some point. More geese. There's a path right down there by the water, but it's probably muddy, so I don't take it very often. Hello, geese. Comes another jogger. Two of them. There, I've walked many a time as well, and will again. There you go, 2 for 1. Dog and a jogger at the same time. There's a hill over there, which, you know, is fairly rare. And more bikers. Quite busy today on the path. I actually prefer to be by myself on these walks, but really hard to arrange. Hello. Down the hill and up the hill, over the river and through the woods. Haven't crossed the river yet, but we will. Well, we did back at the dam, I guess. We'll cross it again over on Broad Street when we get there. More bikers, more dogs, more walkers. think I'll go over to Pine Island today. You can't walk right under the waterfall for some reason, which you've always been able to do until this year. Here's the Surveyor's Monument in honor of land surveyors. I wrote their history book. It's a good view of Pine Island, though, over there. And downtown. Yeah, I think we'll skip it today. I'm anxious to get back and get some work done, so maybe shave a few minutes off that way. Anyway, Pine Island. All the islands are artificial, of course. The whole lake is artificial. Good thing I was looking down, or I would have bowled that kid over. Little kids often don't pay any attention to what tall people are doing around them. They're just legs. Another look at Pine Island behind us there.
So that's what.
Always birds down at this little low point. Beach, if you want to call it that, I guess. There's the Center of the Arts again. Connexus Art Center, I guess. Oops, it's currently called. Pulled on the wrong cord there. Made it go sideways. There's the next bridge, which we will be crossing that one. The lady wearing the Rough Rider jersey ahead of us, since there's a football game tonight, as I mentioned. There's the Legislative Building, always a landmark. That way, you end up on the path I took 2 days ago when I walked to the university. Down that way. It seems to be a thing now. People walking with their music playing out loud for everybody else to listen to. I find it annoying. That's what headphones are invented for. That guy, I don't know if you could even hear it. That guy back there wasn't bad, but in Montreal there were these two guys just blaring this awful music. I thought it was awful. As they walk down the street. How full of yourself do you have to be to do that? How selfish, how self-absorbed, how inconsiderate. How many other nasty words can I come up with? So if you're watching this, you guys that were in Montreal doing that, I didn't appreciate it, and I'm calling you out. Took me back to Star Trek 4. They go back in time to San Francisco in the 80s, and there's this guy on the bus playing his boombox, and Spock reaches over and gives him a nerve pinch and silences him in his boombox, and the whole bus applauds. They actually did a funny callback to that in Picard 7 of 9 and whatever that other character's name is now. Have also gone back in time. They always go back in time to California for some reason. San Francisco, and there's somebody on the bus playing loud music, and Seven says something to him, and he gets all weepy and apologetic. So it's a kind of a flip the script there. So dragon boats for the, I presume, the upcoming Dragon Boat Festival. Don't know why they'd all be out there otherwise. I think last time I came by I actually saw people practicing. Usually it's like corporate teams and it's a fundraiser. And that's usually in September, so I assume that's coming. This is Bar Willow and its lovely deck. They're in there. And now coming down here, we'll go by the rowing club. There might be some people down here, I don't know. They have summer camps and stuff. So last time I came by, there were a bunch of kids down here. But I don't know if that's happening today or not. Canoes are out. Maybe I'm just a little early for the start of camp. Here's where they launch from. I do hear kids behind me, so I think there's some here. They probably just haven't started programming yet. Start at 9 maybe. So this will take us over another bridge. Last one. Right by the aeration fountain I pointed out from across the road, across the lake, when we were looking at the Trafalgar Fountain. Told you we'd be here before long. You can hear it from here. It's through the trees over there.
Morning.
Morning. You can see it there. Actually, maybe I'll vary my walk. Instead of going over the bridge, I'll go around behind the fountain and go up the steps onto the overlook and take that route. It's to be a little different. So come down the path, and there's the, good morning, Jonathan. There's the fountain. One of the two aeration fountains. Keeps oxygen in the water. Go back around. There's the bridge that I sometimes go over. And there's the legislative building. All in one shot. Don't want to miss my shot. We'll go up the steps today. In fact, I'm sure we'll go up the steps today. As I just did. And we can get a nice look here. So again, there's the fountain. And the bridge. The legislative building. Albert Street Bridge over there. And then you come on around and there's downtown. This leads you straight to Wascana Center, which is kind of the administrative building for the park. Wascana Center Authority. It's kind of the local government here. And we're going to pass those same people that I passed on the bridge. The woman wearing the Corey Fajardo Rough Rider jersey. As we go this way now. Another jogger. That's the Queen building, HMCS Queen, landlocked ship where the naval cadets hang out. I think I'll take this little dirt path here, a little closer to the lake. And there's Willow Island. That's where they set off fireworks at those occasions when there are fireworks. You can rent that island for picnics and things like that. Never been over there. Our house is directly over there. And of course, in my fantasy novel, Magebane, this lake exists. And the legislative building is the King's Palace in that book. But the landscape is this. And there's a magical dome that covers the entire park that makes it always spring and never winter. A bit like Narnia, where it was always winter and never Christmas, only the flip side of that. And that's partly wish fulfillment, because if I figured it out and realized that the dome would actually cover my house if it existed in that book, which of course it doesn't. But that's the one written as Lee Arthur Chane, Magebane. He's only written one book, but I have that pseudonym ready to go. I decided to write something else that fits into his oeuvre. Or do the sequel, which I proposed, but they didn't want. Didn't want, unfortunately. It's all ready to write. Well, I'd have to reread Magebane now to remember how things worked, but I have a bunch like that. I have so many novels, ideas sitting in, like they're planned more or less. I have at least a fairly detailed synopsis ready to go. But I don't have a publisher, and so busy doing other things, I tend to not get to those. I'm currently rewriting my middle grade book called Fireboy for a publisher that expressed interest. They liked the book, but it was a little too dark for their particular standards. A little too gruesome in places because it's intended for older middle grade, but still. So I'm now rewriting it to tone that down. They had some good suggestions as to how I could change it, and I'm fine with them, so I'm kind of going in that direction. Mostly it hasn't needed rewriting, but right now I'm getting to the part that really will need some extensive rewriting. Hi.
I wonder how Frank Weber made out of the doctors yesterday. He was supposed to go there at 2 and check him. Blood pressure.
No swimming. I don't think you'd want to in that water. It's not the cleanest, being surrounded by the city. And here's Willow Island from this end. This is where my book, The Shards of Excalibur, begin. Song of the Sword. Kind of starts right here when the girl from Regina here's magical singing in the water, and there's a staircase that goes down into the lake, and when she goes down there she discovers a woman made out of water. It's the Lady of the Lake from King Arthur, and she's there to tell Ariane that she's heir to the lady's power if she chooses to accept it. And then she gives Ariane and this boy, Wally Knight, whom I mentioned earlier, who lived on Harrington Mews that I walked by, in a fictional house, but a real location. I can't go straight down the path there. Gives him the quest of finding the scattered shards of Arthur's sword, Excalibur, before Merlin can. And in the modern world, Merlin is Rex Major, a computer magnate, sort of a Bill Gates, Steve Jobs kind of guy. So he has his magic out through the internet, which is very useful from a story point of view because it means they can't freely use the internet or smartphones. So they can't risk texting each other very much and things like that. So that's very useful. They don't even carry phones for that reason. From a story point of view, that's very useful. As has often been pointed out, most of the plots of Buffy the Vampire Slayer don't work if they have cell phones. You'd have to deal with that in some way if you were writing that now. Stranger Things, set in the 80s, so I don't have to worry about it. In Fireboy, she gets limited use out of a phone. Or does she? Actually, she may not even have one because she's only 13 and she hasn't been allowed one yet by her father. I think that's how that's set up. And they're not that well off, so that's how I dealt with it there. The other YA story I'm working on called Changers, which is about shapeshifters. That's much older characters, so I don't think the grittiness is a problem there. The dark sides of it. I do make use of the phones there a bit. All right. Just a short walk down this side of the lake and we're home. Coming up to the bridge up there. The other aeration fountain there. Which, depending on what the wind is doing, can actually spray water over the sidewalk. But I don't think there's enough wind today for that to be a problem.
They must have had a field day putting it all in.
Gazebo. I performed there and been to a wedding there, as I usually mention when I come by this point. Said, always lots of people on a Friday with nice weather in the summer. And I think when it's cool in the morning and going to be hot later in the day, you get more people out here in the morning. When I walked around here at minus 35 in the dark, there was nobody. And probably there won't be when I do that again this winter. In the winter, the sun would just be coming up about now. Woof, woof. Woof, woof, woof. What the little dog is barking about. Oh, probably the lady with the big dog is passing because she was walking quite fast. All right, down we go to the bridge, underpass, and then just a couple of blocks and we're home. Well, I am. Don't know where you are. Speaker's Corner right up there, which I've often mentioned. That lantern originally stood in Hyde Park, the original Speaker's Corner, more or less, in London. Well, yes, Lake Ontario is just a little bit bigger than Wascana Lake. Can't walk around Lake Ontario very easily, that's for sure. Okie dokie. Couple more blocks and we're home.
No, just for lunch or for breakfast.
For a minute I thought that was our car sitting over there, but it's a Toyota, not a Volvo. Same color, and it's a SUV, but other than that, completely different. I think it's a Toyota. Oof. Two houses for sale right along here if you're looking to move to Regina. This one. Still says for sale, doesn't say sold. And this one. I don't know what that one's like inside. It doesn't present the most pretty front to the street. Unlike, say, this one. I really like this one. Like the awning. Like I said, we've talked about restoring the awnings in our house. Oh, who's there? Good morning from Saskatchewan. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's a nice area, that's for sure. As long as you don't mind raking leaves. Because there's a lot of leaves in the fall, as you can see. This is Leopold Crescent here. Davin School ahead of us. Yeah, I know they renamed it, but it's Davin School to me. It was Davin School when Alice went there, so as far as I'm concerned, it's Davin School forever. So this alley joins the two crescents. There's another alley closer up to Albert that also joins the two crescents. Useful for turning around. Or getting to the lake, which is what I use it for mostly on these walks. And then here's Angus Crescent. House for sale over there. Like I said, lots of leaves in the fall. I don't call it fall for nothing. Alrighty, we'll stop here. So thanks for walking with me. And I should be back certainly at least one day this weekend, maybe both days. I don't know yet. Bye for now.